All right, what's going on, everybody? BlazeHood here, coming at you another Grand Cross video. All right, this time I wanted to talk about my favorite units released in 2022. Since it's a new year, new units are coming. We've already started with Trillion Dark Meliodas, and he is amazing, an amazing unit, especially in PvP. Now, he does work in other places too in PvE, but I still like using Trader Melee a little bit more. Maybe I might do some more testing as far as the PvE side goes with Trader Melee, but let's go back over and talk about all the units that released in 2022. Now, I know technically Trillion Dark Meliodas did release in 2022, but it was like at the ass end of it. You know what I mean? It's like the 29th or something. So I'm going to count him towards 2023 for next year. But let's start. First up on the list, this is going to start from like number 5, then 4, and all the way up to 1, my number 1 favorite unit. First one on the list is we got Tarmiel, the Terminator. I love this guy. I still wish I could get him to goddamn 6/6. I would finally be freaking happy. But he is going to be the first on the list. I love this guy. Love him. Love everything about him. Oh my God, I can't talk about him enough. He's an amazing unit, especially with his relic when he works in the front. Especially when you factor in his grace. Oh my goodness, his grace is so good. It makes me wonder what Mael's grace would be when he finally is released in the game. I love using his grace. I think everybody uses his grace. 95% of people use him as a link in this game, and for good reason. For good reason. It's extremely hard to kill him, especially if you take into account you're using characters like, you know, Festival Diane or even the Festival Lolly Merlin. It's almost impossible for them to die unless you have some crazy hard-hitting unit. Now, the new Escanor does kind of make it seem like he's not as good anymore, but you know, it's Escanor. He's a Festival unit too, so it makes sense that he just rips through Tarmiel's link like that. But he's still a solid fucking link, like a really good link. He's absolutely just amazing. Not to mention his costumes look amazing. I don't know why his human form looks way more dope than his goddess form, but I don't get it. Then again, it's just the hair, so I don't know why it looks just so much doper to me though. But next on the list, we've got Elizabeth. Now, I like Elizabeth a lot better than Tarmiel because I use her in PvE little areas a little bit more than what's the name, Tarmiel. Tarmiel, I don't use him anywhere in PvE. Like Elizabeth, I can remember using her in like a tower. I used her in a couple of the final bosses. And I love her ult. Her ult's amazing too. It does suck that you have to kind of wail for her to get her ult to be like as useful as you would want it to be. Her ult, if you don't know, let me go down and scroll down to it real quick. Her ult is, it inflicts damage equal to 30% of the hero's max HP on all enemies and applies a revive for 1 turn. Now, the sucky part is it's a revive multiplier. If you get her 6/6, it's a gray buff. And then if you get her start off at 1/6 to about 3/6, it's a blue buff. So the blue buff, it can be removed. So that does suck. And let me correct myself real quick. I think at 4/6 all the way to 6/6, it is a gray buff. So that's actually kind of helpful right there. But I do have her 6/6, so using her ult to smack people and keep my enemies alive my allies alive with a gray buff is just absolutely helpful. Not to mention her passive is pretty dope too because it stacks. It allows her to stack and help out the ally stats on goddesses and well, not specifically goddesses, specifically like archangels and 7 Deadly Sins characters, which is what 90% of people use. Like most people on an unknown team, on a demon team, on a goddess team, you've got an archangel or a 7 Deadly Sins character somewhere in there. So she'll always work on like most teams. So she's extremely helpful for that one right there. And since she has more usability, I like using her in more areas. I'm gonna put her a little bit over Tarmiel. Not to mention she a baddie. I think that just goes without saying. She a baddie, so why not? All right, next on the list, man. Who we got next on the list? Esther Rosa. Oh my gosh, this man right here. I like Esther Rosa mostly because he's my favorite commandment. I don't like that he ended up being Mael, but you know, Let's just pretend that for a second that didn't happen and he was just a commandment the entire time. I really like this. He's like my favorite commandment. I think he's most people's favorite commandment. He's chill, he's quiet, he just comes out to clap cheeks every now and again. This Esther Rosa is extremely dope, especially when you consider the fact that he has his passive. I absolutely love his passive. You build it up, he hits harder. He's just an absolute savage, and that's why I like him so much. He doesn't need to do anything special or fancy. He just hits hard. That's really it. Just hit wickedly fucking hard and keep it moving. And because he hits wickedly fucking hard and keeps it moving, he's perfect on the demon team. Absolutely perfect on the demon team. Love him. And my Trader Melee summon, not my Trader Melee summons, my Trillion Dark / Purgatory Meliodas summons, I was able to pull a couple of dupes of him and 6/6 him. So now he's full 6/6. So when I decide to use him on a full demon team with Trillion Dark Melee, he's going to absolutely slap alongside any unit he is with. Fucking perfect unit for the demons. Now we got Trillion Dark Meliodas and him. I would like us to get one more demon, just one more demon, to just absolutely make that team the disgusting team it is. Zeldris is solid on the demon team. I do like him, but I think we can find somebody else to replace him. Don't know who exactly I would want it to be. Maybe like the Demon King, because I think he could work in a way to where he would count as the Demon King and not as Meliodas or Zeldris when he possessed them, just the Demon King separately. Kind of like how Fraudrin and like Dreyfus are technically different characters because they have different like UR gear or anything like that. So I think that would work awesome like that. Now, next character that released in 2022 that I just absolutely love, this behemoth of a fucking man right here. The one ultimate Escanor. Now his banner just left. I got him 3/6. I was trying desperately to get him to 6/6, but I couldn't do it, and I just like, I gotta stop summoning. This is becoming a goddamn addiction. It's becoming a bad gambling habit. I'm gonna live with the 3/6 for right now. The 3/6, he's still an absolute behemoth, an absolute monster of a unit. Now if you're wondering what he does, it's simple. He just hits hard. He hits absolutely hard. He hits so hard, he works in PvE areas. He can help you on Demonic Beast Battle, which is just the hardest content in the game. So if you got this behemoth monster right here helping you, well, see, look how much damage he does. That was like 1,000,000, right? Well, then again, I guess I shouldn't really count this, right? Because this is just a level 1 ass nigga. Let's just pretend for a second he hits, like he just hits this hard normally. But this man is an absolute behemoth. He helps you out in PvE areas and PvP areas. And because of that, I love him for that. I love units that are really good in both PvE and PvP. It's just, I think that's how most units should be helpful in areas like that. I want more units to come out, not just being PvP units. Maybe not even being just, you know, PvE or PvP units. I want them to be good in both. I want them to be helpful in both areas. That right there is what I think factors in and makes this like my favorite unit, or just a really good unit. A unit that I use everywhere. A unit that I have to consider making multiple sets of UR gear for, whether it be attack, defense, HP defense, you know, HP crit, attack crit. No one runs HP crit like that. But let's just pretend for a second. And maybe some crit resist. I don't fucking know. Who knows what units they'll release in the future as far as gear sets goes. But, you know, characters like that I factor in. I love him. Love the guy. He was worth the stones, worth the summons, and worth the costumes. Can't wait till they come out with another costume for him. His like final guest costume. It would absolutely be fucking awesome. This right here, this guild boss costume looks amazing on him. This shit looks fire. I wish I could do it, but I can't weld it at the same level those whales do it. I can't do it. I just can't. No, I can't do it. It's too fucking much. So when he gets to like another costume, which he will, hopefully it's not a Hawk Pass one. I just want it to be like another I could just buy, because I just want to be able to buy it and get it over with and not have to worry about it no more. Hopefully it's dope looking. Don't know exactly what it would be or what I would want, but I hope it's dope looking. And my number 1 favorite unit released in 2022, can you guess who it is? Can you guess who it is? It's King. This man is an absolute fucking monster, man. I can't believe it. Everybody, I'm just kidding. It's not fucking King. It's Trader Melee. Do I need to explain? Do I need to go into further analysis why this dude is the most dope unit released in 2022? He works everywhere. I use him everywhere. When I say everywhere, everywhere. I use him in tower. I use him in dogs. I use him in bird. The only place I don't use him, I think, Trader Melee, I don't use him. Let me look at it. Let me actually look. I think the only place I don't use Trader Melee is, I think the only place I don't use him is Deer. I think it's the only place I don't use him. And I think it's not because I don't want to. It's just because I simply can't. Because he has this stupid wheel that you have to go through. But if he didn't have that, I would use him in there. I used him in PvP, Training Dungeon, Tower of Challenge, Final Boss. What's the name? SP Dungeons. He's a solid farming unit, because why not? What else did I use him? Every boss. Oh yeah, I use him in OG Demon. I use him everywhere. When I say everywhere, everywhere. His passive is some of the most awesome shit in the world. I love his passive. His passive might actually be my favorite passive in the game, simply for the fact is it gives you a gray buff. I absolutely love it. Now in the future, I'm pretty sure they'll start coming out with units that kind of release get rid of gray buffs, but until then, he's just oh my goodness, the gray buffs, man. Ugh. My gosh, because of that, he just makes Bird a joke. Him by himself just makes Bird a joke. If you didn't even take Miguel, then you took somebody else, he would still make Bird a joke because of that gray buff. Absolutely love it. The single target hits like a truck. The AoE Pierce card, fucking just crazy. The goddamn ultimate gauge shatters everything in existence. I think it even removes buffs too, if I remember correctly. It's absolutely ridiculous what he can do with it. Absolutely ridiculous. The only thing that could have made him even more ridiculous if they gave him like what Lost Vein does, and like every time he uses like a rank 2 on one of his cards, that he like ranks up his hand or gives him another ult gauge or something. But like, I don't know how they're gonna top Trader Melly. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Like, I still think I like Trader Melly more than I like the one Escanor. Like, sure, the one Escanor can revive and all that other crazy shit, but Trader Melly is just, he works everywhere. Everywhere. He's been out for a year now, and he's still a top unit, still top high level meta unit. Just oh my goodness, I can't. I'm gonna stop. I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words talking about Trader Melly. He's absolutely just crazy. But that's gonna be it for this video right here, guys. You guys like this video? You want to see more? Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that bullshit. This be your boy BlazeHood. Peace out.